ANSYS APDM. Okay, so here it is the window of ANSYS. We can see over here. So here it is at the top. It is showing the ANSYS mechanical, that is called as the title block. Okay. Then here file select list, uh, plot, plot control, work plane, parameters, micro macro, menu controls. Okay, and help. These are, and these all are called as the menu bar. Okay, and here it is a toolbar: save, resume, quit, and paragraph. Here it is your main menu. Okay, so from this main menu everything is done for your mechanism and everything. Okay, so whatever the mechanism you have to create, and you need to analyze in ANSYS, what are the different materials you need to assign, whatever is happening, that is happening in the main menu. Okay, everything is there in this main menu. Okay, so other than this menu bar is having file. In file we can clear and start a new. If we are working with continuously different projects, then you should uh, click over here and clear and start new. Then we can change the job name also. Whatever the work you are doing, you can change that anytime. Then we can change the directory where you it should be saved. Okay, then change title. You can change the title which is appearing over here at the lower left corner of this window. This is the box, white box, which is shown over here, that is square box. It is the particular window in which we are doing or drawing all these things, modeling, and everything we are doing over here. Okay, then we can save the job name, save job name as .db file. And you can save your project by save as. Okay, and these are all the simple options that are available over here. Okay, from select, we can select the entities, then list, file, log, status. Okay, here also we can see the ls dyna. We can go with that. Then preprocessor, whatever the things are available over here. Okay, in the main menu, that we can go with this. Okay, we can collect with this. Okay, key points, lines, areas, volumes, nodes, elements. Okay, elements, attributes. So all these things we will see in upcoming lecture. And these are all the things we will use one by one. Then you can get it very correctly. Then in plots, you can have this key point and hard points, areas, lines. Okay, specific entities, key point, lines, areas, and volumes, nodes, elements, layered elements, then materials. All these things we can take over here. Then plot controls. Here we can have the zoom and pan or rotate command. Then we can have view the setting of this all ANSYS. Then numbering of nodes, symbols, styles. Okay, in style we can change the size and shape of object. If we can use this it into one dimensional, two dimensional view, or you can give the cross section to here, or you can hide, or you can show from this option. Okay, then also we can see many options over here: colors, contours, graphs. Okay, light sources. Okay, texturing, background. Okay, displacement setting, shell norms, summary expansion. Okay, these all things we can use over there. Okay, and then the important is animation. Okay, So whatever the deformations which is happening in the ANSYS, that we can animate over here with the help of this animate option. Then go to the deform shapes or deform results. We can use this deform shape for our displacement of a body, how it is taking place. According to that, we can see over here. Okay. So then annotations, create 2D annotation, 3D annotation. Now it is okay, enable bitmap font. So all these things we can use over here. Okay. So then hard copy for the printer to file. Okay, save plot controls. Then restore plot controls. All these things we can see over here. Then work plane. Okay, work plane to the key points, nodes. Okay, xyz locations. So we can change the key point work plane according to the requirement. Okay, so in active cs cartesian, then cylindrical, the spherical or specified coordinate system also we can use, or local coordinate system also we can use over here. Okay, in parameters, array parameters are there, then array operations were there, functions are there. Okay, angular units will be there, we can change that one. Okay, then macros, this macro is having the whatever the things we are doing in this, we can record in that macro file. Okay, that we can download with extension. Okay, then menu control, here we can see this, we can change the uh, menu options over here. Okay, we can take directly all these things we can have here. So color selection, font selection, update toolbar, edit toolbar, save toolbar, restore toolbar, message control, and save menu layout, all these things you can do. And here we can have this isometric view of your drawing, then oblique view of drawing, front view, right side view, top view, back side view, left view, like that we can see. Here we can have the fit view into the window. If it is not properly looking in the window, then we can click over here, and it will be adjusted according to the window size. Okay, then here we can see the zoom model, zooming or zoom back, then zoom in, zoom out. Here it is the pan on the left side and right side. Okay, upper and lower, like that. Okay, these are all what the rotation about x y z. Okay, and then we can see this is what the rate of change of model manipulation. Okay, so that we can change for 35, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 100, up to 100 we can change. Okay, so this is all about introductory part of ANSYS. So basically we know that this is your axis. Okay, or plane. Now we are in x y axis. So here it is showing the ANSYS version over here, 18.1, June 9th of June 2021 is our today's date, and here it is showing the time also. Okay, so we can go with the preferences. Everything we will do in menu. So first of all, we should select the preferences. Click on preferences. We are going to see the structural analysis. Click on OK. uh, if you want to have the thermal analysis, then you can click over there, so that the particular options will be uh, created over there in the further steps. If I deselect this, these thermal options will not be available in further steps. Okay, if we want to add the few ANSYS fluid, then we can select over here, and these options will be appear in the corresponding steps. I'm keeping deselecting this first. Electromagnetic applications we are not using right now, and H method is the default method we are using over here. And preferences for graphic user interface filtering. GUI is what? The graphics user interface what we are using for this particular software. Okay, so there are basically three steps for solving any finite element method problem, finite element analysis problem. The first one is pre-processor. Okay, first step is pre-processor, second one is solution, and third one is general post processor. Okay, general post processor. So these are the three things in which we are doing all the analysis. First of all, we will see the preferences or pre-processor. Preferences we have taken. Pre-processor. In pre-processor, we need to create. Simply, we can say we need to create object ready for analysis. Okay, ready for analysis. That means everything that we need to give it ready for uh, solution. Okay, for solving. So what we need to give over there? First of all, we need to give element type, then real constants. What are the constants are available over there? So then material properties for the material we are using, that is steel properties or any other properties. Okay, in that also we can give particular density of material. Then we can give Young's modulus for that one. Then Poisson's ratio for that one we can give, and other particular things also we can give for this. Okay, then material properties. After that sections are available. If the element we are using as a beam element, then we need to give sections for this particular element, because it will have the common sections like a rectangular shape, square shape of cross section for that beam element. Then we can also have hollow sections, E type section, C type section, I type section, L type section. These are already available. So we don't need to create a separate shapes for that one. Okay, that is very much convenient for beam analysis. Then modeling of the whatever the model we are having. Okay, so whatever the structure we are having, for that we need to create a model. We need to create some key points first, then we need to join that key points by lines. Then after that we need to give some cross sections for that. Okay, like that we can have all these things. Okay, there may be two-dimensional analysis or three-dimensional analysis also. There are options available. Okay, then after creating a model, then we need to create meshing. So the discretization process is starting over here. Okay, so meshing is what? Dividing the continuum or dividing the given body in finite number of elements. So finite means countable number of elements. Okay, so these countable number of elements will be then treated under the given conditions, under the given loads, under the given boundary conditions. Okay, so for that purpose we are deciding the size of elements. We can take the size, equal size of elements for everywhere on the model, or we can have this option for changing or resizing this element size wherever it is possible, like in circular cross sections or circular holes or circular type of bodies. We need to have a flexible element size. Okay, so that also we can take from this meshing. Then we can have this checking control points. So it is only for checking whether it is perfectly done or not. Then numbering the control points. So whatever the node numbers or elements numbers are having, for that purpose we are giving the node numbers, or numbering we will do for everything. So this then important thing is loads. After meshing, we will go for loads or boundary conditions, what we can call it in finite element analysis language. Okay, so this boundary condition is what, whatever the things which are attached with your model that may restrict the uh, degree of freedom of the model. That means fixed points, support points that we need to give over there. And also whatever the forces which are acting on this body, that also we are going to apply over there. Okay, so the loads or moments or any distributed loads or any varying load or any movement which is acting on the body, that we need to apply over here. And then we need to go to the next phase of your analysis, that is solution. In solution we don't have any complications, any difficulty in this. We will directly select the analysis type. Okay, and what which type of analysis you need to do, that is static or any other modal analysis. Okay, so we will only select the static analysis. Okay, so these are the options available for type of analysis. Okay, if we want to model analyze it by modal analysis, harmonic analysis, transient spectrum, Eigen buckling, or um, substructuring or CMS analysis, seismic analysis also we can do. So that are not of our topic today. So these are the only options available over there. You can see select any one which are applicable. Okay, so here we can go directly to the solve and select current ls, and we can click on ok, and then only the solution is done window will come over there. Okay, so I have not mentioned any. I have not defined any load or sorry, element type or anything. I have not done, so that it will not get solved. So it will give error. Okay. So there are no nodes defined. Okay. So if there is no geometry, then how can we solve? That is the question. So it is not giving over here. So after solution, if even only if the solution is done window comes over here, if it is showing solution is done, then only we can proceed to general post processor. Then only here uh, result summary will come, and plot result option is not available over here. See, no, not available over here. It is only appear when it has a perfect solution is there. Okay, only perfect solution is there, then only it is appearing, otherwise it is not. Okay, so this is all what about the three steps which are used in this uh, finite element analysis on APDL, or anywhere we can use this one. Okay, but there may be some different GUI, that is graphics user interface. Okay, so this is a APDL. Okay, and if you use Ansys Workbench, there will be different user interface. Okay, so in this it is showing everything in front of you. Okay, that we need to give one by one, one by one, one by one. But in Ansys Workbench it is not there. Okay, so here we can see first I'm considering one cantilever beam. Okay, so I'm considering one cantilever beam, and having one end fixed, and load is acting and other end. Okay, just imagine it is not having that much what you can say difficult to imagine. Okay, so I will start first with this preferences structural analysis. Okay, click on OK. Then preferences, first I will go to the element type, add edit delete. Then I will go for add. Then I will go to the beam, cantilever beam we are using, beam element, and I'm using this 3D finite strain element. Okay, so I'm using this 3D element over here. Click on OK and go to close. Okay, so if you have these options, you can change all these things, but now we don't have that much scope to change all these things. Okay, so whatever it is default that we are taking over here, click on OK. Okay, so if you want to delete this, if it is wrongly selected, then you can delete this element. Again we can add this, click on OK, it will be added over here. Don't add multiple elements for a single component or isotropic objects. Okay, so close here. Then go to a real constant next step. So here we don't need to give the real constant for beam element. As we can see, if I click over here, add edit delete add, click on OK, then it is giving you the option that is the beam 188 element does not require real constants. So I will close this, close here. Then go to the next step, that is material properties. So in this we have this material models. Okay, so go to material models. So here we are having this material model number one. Only one thing we are using. We are using the isotropic material, and single material we are using, not composite one. Okay, so in this structural analysis we are doing, and linear one with elastic isotropic properties. You can see this structural, linear, elastic, and isotropic. After clicking on isotropic, this window is coming over here. So that is Ex is what? Young's modulus. Okay, Ex is Young's modulus, what we are taking over here. You can apply the Young's modulus for your steel member. So for steel, we see the Young's modulus as 200 gigapascal. So we can see 200 gigapascal. We are going it in Pascal, that is Newton per meter square. These units we are using, then we should keep it throughout. Okay, if I am using Newton per meter square, so all the length should be in meter and all the loads should be in Newton. So then also we can get the answers in terms of that units only. Okay, so as it is 200 into 10 to the power 9 Pascal, because I am converting gigapascal into the Pascal, so we need to multiply it by 10 to the power 9. So I'm giving here 200 E9. That is what E9 means, 10 to the power 9. Okay, it will by default take as a E as a 10 to the power 9. Okay, then portions ratio PRXY is the portions ratio. We can consider it 0.3 over here. As we know that it is the range for steel is 0.27 to 0.33. Okay, it may vary according to the material. Okay, so I will generally we can take this 0.3, click on OK. So now don't forget to close this window. Okay, So before that, we can see if it is a non-linear problem, we can have elastic, inelastic, and viscoelastic properties. So we are using only linear. So if we want to apply the density, we can give 7850 for your steel. Then thermal expansion, if you want to give, then we can give damping coefficient, we can give mass stiffener, stiffener multiplier, frequency independent, but we are not considering that right now. If we want to give the friction coefficient of the material, there is no friction in our process, so why should give extra whatever the constants. Okay, so there is no need of any friction coefficient, because no moving is there, no motion is there, then no friction is required. Specialized material is there, if gasket is there, okay, a joint elastic is there, micro plane model will be there, then user material option will be there. Okay, there is no any necessity of this one, so we need to close this. Okay, remember, you need to close this. If I click over here, um, other than this window, it will get disappear. Okay, and you will say it has gone, but remember, nothing will happen. I am selecting this, but nothing is happening over here. Okay, so just remember that you should close that one, then and only then other process will carry it out. Okay, if I am taking care about this, so there will be the window which is appear over here, which was hidden in behind this window. So I need to close this, then and only then I can uh, access to other options also. Okay, so now it is a beam element, so we are giving the sections, we are giving sections to this. So for beam, we are giving the common sections. Okay, so what are the common sections available over here? These are the square section is there, or rectangular section, what we can call it as rhombus, circular, solid circular, hollow circular, then C section, I section, okay, Z section, then it has L section, T section. Okay, and other type of sections are available over here. Okay, different kind of sections are available. Okay, so here I'm giving this circular, solid circular section. Okay, and I'm giving here the radius of this as a 0.2 meter. Okay, radius where I'm giving 0. This I will give 0.05 meter. Okay, this I'm giving this. Click on OK. If you want to preview this, you can preview over here. So this is what your circular section you can give. You can see this area of this whole circle in terms of meter square, 0.007848 meter square. This is moment of inertia about yy, it is about the yz, about zz, and wrapping constant, torsional constant, centroid of y, about y, it is given at 0.27 into e to the power minus 18. Centroid at z, then shear center at z, shear corresponding to yy section, shear corresponding to yz, shear corresponding to zz. Okay, if we need, we can give this. Okay, otherwise we can click on OK. So here we can go to the next. After sections, we have selected this section, then we will go to the modeling. So in modeling, we need to create some key points. So create key points. in active CS. So first key point we need to give over here a number as a 1, and we will create that first key point on origin. Okay, so click over here, apply. So first key point has been created over here. Replace that 1 by 2, and whatever the length we are giving over here. So I'm giving 2 meter length for this beam. Okay, and vertical length is not required. Horizontal length I'm taking. Click on OK. So one point, and this is the second point, first and second point. So key points are created over here. Now we need to create lines, straight lines from these key points. So it has been created. You click on OK. Modeling is done. Now we will go to meshing part. Okay, so we will go to mesh. Before that we need to select the size of element, manual size, lines, all lines. Okay, so we need to give over here the element edge length. So element edge length we need to select over here, or we need to select number of division for this full 2 meter span. So I'm giving 20 elements instead of giving the element edge length. Okay, it is simple one. Okay, so click on OK. You can see the 20 parts has been made over here, but meshing is not done still. We have just selected the count. So now we'll go to the mesh, lines, select this line and click on OK. So if it appear a single line, then it is said to be meshed. Okay, then we will go directly to the loads. That is what we can say. It is boundary conditions we are giving over here. So analysis type, new analysis, static analysis, we need to select and click on OK. Then go to define loads. Okay, we are defining this load, apply structural displacement. Displacement means what? We are giving constraint to this beam. So we know that we have considered the leftward section as a fixed one. So here we are having key point. So apply structural displacement on key point. Okay. So click over on key point and click on OK. One window will appear. So here we can see this all degrees of freedoms we are going to restrict over there. So click on OK. You can see all degrees of freedom has been locked. Okay. Then again we can go for the force and moments. Okay, so here also we will give this force or moments on key point. So select the free end of this. The yellow box will appear if it is selected, or if you want to deselect it, right click arrow, it will get downward. This arrow will get downward, then it will be deselected. Again you can right click, it will get selected. Okay, so click on OK. So we need to give vertically downward load having 1000 Newton magnitude. Okay, so Fy in downward direction, so that sign convention we need to consider over here, that is minus 1000, then and only then it will go downward, otherwise it will give orientation in upward direction. Okay, click on OK. So now everything is set, only the solution is remaining. So whatever we have taken right now, element types we have applied, then real constants, then material properties we have applied, select sections, common sections we have applied for this, then modeling we have done, after that meshing we have done, and then we have done the loads and analysis tab. We have selected loads, we have applied, boundary condition has been given. Then now go to the solution directly. Go to the solution. No need to see anywhere. Directly go to the solve, current ls, and click on OK. If solution is done, is the window, congratulations, we have done it successfully. Click on OK, close this window, and now the general pros processor will appear this plot results. This was not available earlier. So as the solution is successfully done, it will get appeared plot results. So deformed shapes, deform plus and deform shapes, we can see the deflection of this beam due to the 1000 Newton load. Yes, this is the deflection. We have taken this deflection, or we got this as a 0.002724, that is in meter. So we can say it is a 2.7 mm is what the deflection we are getting here. So now we can see here the animation for this plot control, animate, deformed shapes. Okay, so I am taking number of frames as a 10 and seconds at 0.5. Click on deform plus undeform. Okay, and click on OK. So you can see how it is getting deflected from this animation. Okay, this is what the beauty of this software. It is showing everything how it is getting deflected, how it is getting deformed. Okay, so you can change the speed of this. It can get slow, we can get faster by changing the delay. You can also get faster it. Yes, this is what the deflection of the beam, what we can get over here. Then go, I will stop this, close. Then we will go for the contour plot. Okay, so contour plot, that will color plot will be there. So nodal solution I will take over here, degree of freedom solution, and I'm taking in y component of displacement, because we have applied the load in y direction only. That's why the components that will create a y directional deflection. Okay, y component of deflection will be there. So consider this y component of displacement. Click on OK. So this is what your deflection we are getting over here. It is maximum and minimum one. Okay, so here we are seeing this blue line from blue to red. It is what the color coding scale which is giving you the minimum to maximum deflection over here. It is the minus 0.002724 to 0.002724. Okay, so here we can see green color is showing the minimum deflection. Okay, deflection, maximum deflection, and here it is minimum one. So minimum stress over here and maximum stress over the red color. Okay, this is what showing here. We have taken it on June 2021. Okay, so we can save this. We can change the title of this one. So go to file, change the title. So we are giving this beam analysis. Beam analysis. Okay, click on OK. So here the title is appeared over here. Okay, so now we can save or print this image or we can capture this image through this option. Okay, so you can see this image capture. Click over here, and I will print it to PDF. Okay, and we can give landscape or everything. Okay, so I'm converting it into the PDF. Okay, or we can directly print this. So I'm saving this wherever you want to save. You can get the place on desktop. I'm saving this beam one. Okay, beam one I'm showing here. So click on OK. Okay, it is printing. Okay, so we can see it on desktop. Where is the beam? Here it is. We can select this, and we can see these on PDF. So here we can see June 9, 2021, 11:36. So this is what the timing it is taking. Everything is given. Beam analysis title is there, and everything is given over here. Okay. So now we will see. You might have seen that sir, this has some cross section. Okay, so we will go to plot controls, style, and size and shape. I already told you that we can hide and show this shape. So I will show the display of element over here, so we can have this actual size of this element, or size of this whole beam. So you can see it in the isometric view. We can see this in perspective view also. We can see it in front view, then right side view. Okay, then we can see this top view also, back view, then left side view, bottom view. Okay, so I will show this in front view, or we can show this in isometric view. Okay, we can zoom it or fit to the window, or we can have the zoom in, zoom out. Okay, then right, or sorry, left, then right, move, pan, upward pan, downward pan. Okay, we can use all these options over here. So we can rotate about x, we can rotate about y, we can rotate about this y, z also, in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so we can see this right now. Okay, this also we can capture the image. Click on OK, and we can apply beam. Okay, you can save this. Okay. So this is what about analysis of a cantilever beam. Simple analysis on ANSYS RPDL. Okay, so thank you for being with me. If you have any question, you can ask me.